All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Obikwelu, and I'm super excited to have yet another brilliant conversation. And I am joined here today with Samuel Theophilus, and he will share a little bit about his life, how he got started, and all the fun things of AI. So, today on Brilliant Conversations, I'm thrilled to welcome Samuel as an incredible guest who's at the forefront of innovation and transformation in the tech world. A brilliant AI engineer with over 5 years of experience revolutionizing how businesses operate in this fast paced digital age. Samuel is a master of helping businesses harness the power of AI driven solutions to optimize processes, streamline data management, automate workflows, and drive unprecedented growth. His expertise isn't just about technology, it's about creating smarter, more efficient systems that empower businesses to thrive and adapt in an ever evolving landscape. With a deep passion for innovation and a track record of impactful success, Samuel is here to share insights on the game changing potential of AI, the importance of leveraging cutting edge technology, and how these advancements can be a catalyst for growth and transformation. Let's dive into this brilliant conversation and explore how his expertise is shaping the future and inspiring others to unlock the limitless possibilities of AI. Welcome, Samuel.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, it is such a joy to have you and go over artificial intelligence. Sometimes it can seem taboo. Everybody's saying AI this and AI that, but hey, what do we do with it? How do we leverage it? And that's what today's conversation is about. Like
Yeah.
home and empowering businesses on a journey. As a business owner, I get it, and we need efficiency, so I'm so thankful to have you here to talk about that. But while we're journeying into that, I'm going to start with my first question and jump right in.
Okay.
What inspired you to pursue a career in AI engineering, and what has your journey been like over the past 5 years?
Thank you so much. To answer that question, I would say, first of all, I would like to say that my background, I have a computer science background. So I graduated with a bachelor's degree in computer science. And I think my passion for AI, it was driven by curiosity. I was on internship in my third year, and I just wanted to build. So I was trying to move from the traditional web development, and uh, I was just trying to explore that. At the time, I was trying to explore how to work with facial recognition solutions to build a facial recognition system, and then also like do a little bit with computer vision. And that was how I like got into the AI space. So at the time I started exploring tools like TensorFlow. That was that's a deep learning framework released, or let's say an open source deep learning framework that was launched by Google at the time. This was like 2016. So gradually, curiosity drove me into uh, getting to know, okay, what deep learning was about, and I found myself just reading and like complete and taking courses, and that was how I gradually just started trying out a lot of features, and then this escalated to or this moved into my final year project where I worked on automated cataract detection with artificial neural networks. And so that was so when I saw the power, the things I could use AI to do, it really sparked my interest. So after school, I worked for some time as a web developer, but my passion, I just discovered, over time, I just realized that I was not getting a lot of the part, will I say, the drive I wanted in traditional software. So I moved fully into data analysis, data science, and gradually into other fields, data engineering, and like that. So that this was gradually how I transitioned from my software development role into an AI engineer. That's the AI engineering role. So I don't know if that paints a picture of like where coming from.
Absolutely does. Yes, absolutely. So you're actually displaying the brilliance behind exploring curiosity. You
Yeah.
didn't stay. You literally was like, okay, I'm curious about this. How do I shift? And you took those necessary steps. So, oh, love it, love it. Love your opening story on what inspired you. That gives us a overview of your mindset and how you're a forward thinker. So, with your experience, how do AI driven solutions go beyond automating tasks to transforming businesses and like creating growth opportunities within businesses?
Okay, so thank you. So for AI, especially with the advancement in tools like ChatGPT and Gemini and some of these tools, the hype with the AI hype has been so loud, such that it almost feels like a magical tool that you just apply. So I would say there needs to be a balance. So while it's a powerful tool, but it's not that magic bullet that just solves anything. Like it's there needs to be a balance. So when it comes to applying AI to business solutions or to be able to like drive growth or revenue or optimize processes, right? The first thing is um you need to understand the of basically outline find out where AI how AI can help you or the tasks that need to be automated, right? So when you in a typical situation, I try to like understand what clients like what your or existing processes, right? So when or you understand, and then the kind of data you produce, the kind of um decisions you make, the kind of basically your job looks like. So this would reveal areas where AI can be used to either uh, cut down costs or to save time or to make some manual process or repetitive tasks, right? So that's where you have like it would guide you on whether you need to build a predictive solution or whether you need to be able to build an AI agent that will perform some repetitive tasks, or maybe you just need to automate because automation is not always AI. So for instance, um on a call like this, like very good example to save time. So if we want to go back over this meeting, usually you have to maybe either be taking note or have recorded the session and then you have to go through it. So with AI, for instance, you can optimize your service by using tools like Okta AI that will transcribe the meeting automatically and summarize the meeting, outline the key points that were discussed, and and outline also action points. And you can go further to automate this process by automating the extraction of these reports from your mail to Notion and whatever you can build pipelines that will basically handle these things, cutting down time for you. So this that way you don't have to deal with the whole like when you're having to go over a recording over again after the meeting. You are using AI to automatically get summary of these meetings and every key point, all the action points you need to consider after the meeting. So this is an example. And then you have, for instance, other cases. Let's say you have to you have processes, for instance, clients where you have to you monitor news for maybe crime news, crime data or crime report or whatever kinds of reports you are watching. So this you can use automation and AI to fix this process and save. Let me even just give an example. So there was a project I worked on, and it required the development or basically to be gathering meals, right? Collecting meals from a lot or like from a lot of like restaurants, physical restaurants in the country. So and then this will the traditional approach will have been having to go physically to these restaurants to like pull this information and then get them. But with automation, this was just basically had to access their menus online. So basically wrote scripts that access their menus online and was able to retrieve these publicly available menus and pull over 25,000 records, right, in an automated fashion with no at very little cost compared to having to go physically to each of these locations and profile or like get a list of all these menus. So this, for instance, in this particular case, a lot of time was saved, like time and money and resources that would have been invested to. So these are some examples of how you can use AI or automation. So they work very hand in hand, or sometimes they just the basic data analysis to save time, save costs, and help you focus on the important things while automation or AI handle some of the basic things. So there are a lot of use cases, and to get use cases for a particular business, that would require like an interview session to understand what the business or what the operations are like, and then that's where, as a professional, I'll be able to like look see areas that can be automated, and then suggest some automations or some AI integrations, and to various degrees. And this would either save time, has a lot of impact, and the results are mind-blowing. So it's like I said, it's very powerful and has potential to drive great results if applied well. So, but it's not a magic bullet that just fix. If you don't apply, if you don't do that well, it's you can end up with you might end up with just wasting money and not getting the results you desire.
Exactly. I love what you mentioned from the start. It's not a magic bullet. You have to know how to feed it data to give you an important outcome that creates efficiency, whether it's time efficiency or economical efficiency. So I love how you brought it to a place where we can understand that it's not, aha, it happens just like that. So, with that being said, I love how you mentioned something as simple as taking the transcript of this and giving it to AI to create, or creating a system to where it's automatically summarized. Beautiful. I love the other example that you gave as well. Now, before we had this conversation, earlier this week, I went to your website because I wanted to check out a little more about different things that you offer. And I saw within your blog bits of what you just mentioned when it comes to using, when you mentioned Chat GPT and things of that nature. When you are feeding AI, you have to feed it in such a way where you get the outcome you're looking for. You can't say just AI, write me a strategy for this. No, when you give it information, and needs to have details like, this is where I am, this is my skill set. Based on my skill set, how do I get to this end result? Fill in the gaps. So I love that blog that you did. And I was like, okay,
Thank
teaching
you.
us how to use AI efficiently. And
Thank
that's what
you.
it's about, because sometimes we have these tools. It's just like we get something new, a new gadget in the mail, and we don't read the manual. And we're in there trying to figure out how to do it. So what you do is you're like a manual for businesses to create operating systems that will create efficiency by leveraging AI. So I appreciate what you bring to the table in that aspect.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is the human AI connection. And we know AI is technical,
Yes.
but how do you help businesses bridge the gap between AI technologies and the people using it? We touched on it a little bit with feeding it information, but how do you come in and bridge the gap for businesses?
Okay, so yes, so I think if I get you correctly, so basically bridging the gap so that AI adoption is executed with efficiency, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So I think there are a number of steps. The first step would be to first have the right view or idea about what AI is, right? So understanding what the potentials, what it is, and how to use it. So because, for instance, I would say, I like to say, especially when using tools like, for instance, this generative AI, I like to advise to kick off with using it as an assistant, or as a thought as a thought will I say as a thought partner. So it entering like because as AI, like, using for instance, when you spoke about prompt engineering and we were giving illustrations to the blog I worked on. So if when you use it, like if you have the right if you use AI as an assistant. You understand? Because tools like ChatGPT, at least at the start or at the launch, had this problem of hallucination where you get some fabricated information, where it spews fabricated information with confidence, right? So although over time there has been and there has been solutions to address this issue, it's important to have an understanding of the potential issues that can come up when using AI, and then also the benefits so that you know how well to navigate them. So now and then, secondly, so once you've had like, at least a basic understanding of that, I can't go over all that during this presentation, but it's just to have once you have gone over of having a good understanding of what AI is and how to at least use it, then next step is to maybe start little. So I will not advise, for instance, full automation. Most times I like to implement solutions that have humans in the loop. So basically, you can start off with not having it make solid decisions for you, like at the start, right? So when you're trying to, for instance, automating agents, you try to you can use it as a like I said, using it as a third partner, as a research intern, like as an intern that will execute some of these tasks. For instance, I would say if you're trying to automate your emailing process as as let's say an e-commerce vendor, if you are starting off, I would advise, okay, you get to I would advise that you try to observe, or you experiment basically, instead of having to let the AI send mails directly for you. Because one you maybe you can have it create drafts, maybe extract messages and replies or conversations threads from your email, and then suggest follow-up mails, then you have you validate them to send them, rather than having you automate them at the start. Why? Because sometimes especially even for business owners who are in the same space, your operation or your methods or your steps, your standard operating process could vary, and it's very important for you to see that it aligns with what you're doing. So sometimes some of these things you get comfortable when so maybe for instance it's easier when you have used it as a draft, like you work on an AI solution that drafts follow-up mails and reminds you of maybe use messages you need to follow up, check up on in your mailbox. Then when you are comfortable with the recommendations and you see, then you will have more confidence to be able to, like, okay, have someone like me to, okay, automate the full process. And that way you also get to see. So that's why, so basically gradual integration, right? So and then also if you are if you don't want to go the full, because for some clients, you have clients that prefer, that would like you to build full power solutions. So I have to work on like APIs and build like a full it's like a full software project. While in other cases you might just want no code tools. For instance, maybe you want to automate a report, let's say report generation, and then you have let's say you have a basic pipeline. You want files, PDF files are submitted through maybe Google Drive, Google Forms, and then they are saved on a Google Drive, and then you can decide to use, or I can build an AI pipeline that maybe we'll take those, once these forms, once a file is saved to that Google Drive, you automate and extract the content, and then have ChatGPT process it, maybe structure it in a particular format, generate the report you want, and maybe send you updates on either Slack, WhatsApp, emails, or depending on whatever your use case is, right? So these are some ways. So gradual integration, I believe that when it helps build trust from your end, because one issue is one thing is, it's very important. Like I said, it's very important to understand that AI is not perfect. So it's something that it's still as powerful. It's a powerful tool, but it has some ha- it has it has some weakness which over time will keep getting better. Like with innovation, it will keep getting better. So, but it's important to have this in mind, and then we will build as we build. So you get to build your trust in the solution, right?
Yeah.
Is developed gradually. It's not because it's not possible to automate these processes, but I think as you automate, it's very one of the challenges you have is building solutions that the business owner is unable to work with. Maybe because they are not how will I put it? They are not familiar because they're not familiar with the system, or they don't trust the system so much. So it's and that's why I like to have that gradual upgrade or gradual integration. So you are trusting the process as the integration is happening, and then you get to like use and see what I have feedback that I can work with to make the system more refined to your taste, and automate the process and optimize your process to your like basically to meet your needs.
I
So
love that. I love that because the gradual process is almost what I'm hearing is teaching AI you to where it understands. Like you mentioned, it's two businesses, but we may have different standard operating procedures. So AI can't say the same thing for both businesses because we don't run the same in the same manner. So the
yes,
more you teach AI your style, your culture, your way of operating and communicating, you teach it how to output where it aligns with your business. So, and it seems like what you're saying, it's a gradual process. You just don't want to throw a lot of information and say, hey, do an output for me. It's like, no, I need you to learn and I need to oversee it. That means I need to check in to make sure AI is producing what I desire. If it's not producing the right thing that's aligned with my business, something needs to be tweaked. It needs to be updated and changed, and you help with that process.
so just to figure, so it's more of the design. It's more of the automation design that needs to be tweaked,
Okay.
and not yes, so not necessarily the learning of the AI, because with AI, once for instance, if I'm building an internal let's say RAG solution for you, once I have your information and I structure the data in the appropriate like and I structure the data properly, and I present give it, I have the context and everything, it will when you build the right algorithms, you will have a good result. So when what I'm talking about is the tweaking of the automation flow, right? So that yes, so tweaking the automation flow. So because you're trying to automate repetitive tasks in your business with AI. So it's a big given that even for the same business, you can have different operating procedures like we were talking about. So it's more of automating or tweaking the automation, the flow, the flow. That's the process where you're integrating AI to, especially with terms to decision making, and basically with agentic building AI agents. Let me put it that way. So it's not necessarily the data, because the data the teaching, you're not necessarily when you're working with the AI solution at this point, or when once it's deployed, you're not like teaching it's you're not the training happens before I deploy it to your
Makes
your
okay.
yes. So
That's already done. At that point, it's time. Okay, I get it now. So the
yes,
data is not what's changing, it's the flow of the data.
yes. It's the flow of the like that's the automation. The automation. Yes,
Perfect. Okay, okay. I'm with you. See, this is your lane. This is your lane. I'm just having a conversation to learn and to grow. So I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Because I know the next part I want to talk about is the ethical part of AI. Because you hear a lot of conversations on the right or wrong way to use AI. And I love your explanation so far, but here's a question that I have already pre-written out to ask you. What are some ethical considerations businesses should keep in mind when integrating AI, and how do you address them in your work?
Yes. So for the ethical considerations, one, right? So like addition to for starters, right? You're very careful with the way you handle your data and the way you expose personal like clients, especially when you're a business that deals with clients. So the way you expose that personal data to some of these AI models, it's that these are some considerations just to make sure that you are in line with the GDPR standards and whatever the laws depending on which side of the world you are in. And yes, so the next level is, I would say, it's important to, before making giving AI decision giving it decision making rules especially for critical decisions. Like, there needs to be very thorough review of that. So like I said, I usually like to recommend like integration with AI as an assistant, and not necessarily a decision a key decision maker, like, or to leaving, especially leaving some key decisions in the process. Why? Because it's if you haven't, like, if it's tricky, especially with very key decisions, given that AI is um it's it there are a lot of issues, right? So for instance, you see, when Gemini was released, or was launched, one of the issues that was raised was the misrepresentation of, like, some image generation, when it was generating some images. Like, it was said to have from racial misrepresentation and some few things like that. So these are some concerns that um needs to be checked. So it not and not and the issue is not necessarily that the creators really wanted to have that misrepresentation, but since it's powered by data, if your data is not balanced, so you have tendency to have some of these issues. So if you are using for so if let's say you want to use AI to build let's say an image generation tool, like something in that line, let me put it that way, you might need to make some of these considerations, because it would these are some of the issues. And then also, for instance, like, let's say you are trying to build, I think one of the ethical concerns is also letting people know, especially when you're having to deal with, like, customers. So like, letting people know that, okay, they are interacting with AI beforehand. So some depending on your area, your region, you don't want a customer fooled that they're talking to, for instance, because I can build, for instance, automated call centers, right? That pick the handle, that take calls, and like take customer complaints, or just maybe sales or thing solutions like that. So depending on, just make sure that you are on the safe side of the law. You want to build solutions. You don't want to build solutions that would fool the user, or that will just get so much into the ethical. So these are some of the, when building, I would say, it's just to ensure that you have transparency in the process,
Yeah.
and then also, like, just make sure that you're not breaking any of the laws with regulation, and with handling, especially with handling customer data, right? So that, I think, these are the major issues. And then also, like I said, more emphasis on not being slow or being critical in making AI to make critical decisions, like very key decisions. So you can make, for instance, you can, when you're building agents, when you're building, I'm trying to think of a very good example, but not really coming an example, but it's not really coming. I'm not really getting it on my mind right now. But basically, just uh, when just for instance, let me say, in health, like, if you're building a solution that has to do with health, like maybe there's some sensitive use cases that you have to be careful, you have to be slow or careful when you're trying to make some of these decisions. So I think, okay, yeah, very good. So a very good example is building, for instance, a full recommendation solution, which is a project I've worked on. So if you're trying to build you try to use AI to make decisions on food recommendation, you have to be careful on that because let's say you have a diabetic patient who is trying to like generate food recommendations with AI. You see that the cost of a wrong recommendation is very expensive. So
Exactly.
yes, so these are some areas where you need to be careful when you are trying to like integrate AI. So it's just to be, and so these are some examples of what you need to watch. So it's very important. You're very right to bring that up because it's a very vital like it's a major concern in today's world. Yes. So it's
Yes.
yes. So I hope I addressed the question.
You absolutely did because the last part really brought it home to where we understand the difference. Those are critical decisions. Health is a critical condition. So if someone has diabetes and they're coming and seeking health advice using the tool that you provided, which is generated through AI, a wrong answer or a wrong consideration can be life threatening. And that's not a
Yes.
risk that a business is would be advised to take. So I
Yes.
love when you're driving it home. I love you've been consistent from the start of the conversation. Do not depend on AI for critical decisions. Use AI as an assistant. And I believe that is the brilliant part of this conversation because you're driving home a very important factor when integrating AI. And I appreciate your perspective and your repetition in communicating that during this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to think about some things that are in the future because AI is here,
Yes.
and you know what I mean. It's here. It's not coming. It's here, and it's evolving rapidly. And when we think about advantages or trends in AI, which ones excite you? And how do you see them shaping the future of business?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question. So which one excites me? All right. Let me see.
Excites you the most?
I think what excites me is personally I would say it's in the videos and voice. So yes, so personally that's what excites me. Particularly when you see like for instance having being able to automate call centers, right?
Okay.
It's and it's seamless. Like I was trying out some months back. I was trying out like a feature, an automated call center feature, and then I was just impressed by how seamless the process was, and it was not like it's not unlike if you look back at like 3 years ago. It's when you it's easy to detect when an AI is when you get an AI voice, even when it tries to sound human, like you get to detect it's either true, maybe it's lack of emotion or the pauses or some of the intonation, like but when you're having a conversation now, it's I think that's one thing. So looking at where that is going, and for instance with videos, right? So being able to like prompt, like have all this text to video and looking at the possibility, like already it's tools like Runway ML are having tools that are having solutions that are used in Hollywood already, right? So it's like the potential in few like what the potential and I think I was checking Instagram the other day and I just saw a reel that was talking about if the first movie generated from is it the first movie generated from like completely from AI and things like that. So when you look at the future of AI, like it's going, I think for me, these are some areas that I found in the business space that can be that can uh, change a lot of things, right? Because for instance, if you are able to, this means that if I'm able to build an AI agent that is very good at sales, I can automate the process of reaching out to clients, and that just means that it's you are not yet there. Of course, some of these things you can automate some processes, but it might like in future as it's getting as we get way more advanced, it's some of these some of the challenges that our restrictions that are currently on ground are getting phased out. So a future where, for instance, you get to be able to like have very high effective conversations, or be able to like build a sales funnel that is very effective because you have used AI to optimize your process, and you're not getting you're able to like convince or get clients that really need your service to really come to you with ease, right? So that's an interesting future that I look forward to, and with there are a lot of the truth is there are a lot of areas that it will be very difficult to talk about, and I think just for recently, I think 2 days ago, I got there was a gig that uh, also had to do with voicing. So I'm seeing a particular interest with the use of voice of AI voices, and then also you see the increase with so there's a lot of there's a lot that needs to be done in, for instance, the video computer vision space and the AI space. We are getting there. So, but because we don't have the AI tools or the AI solutions right now, don't really have the full control. Like they have made there's a lot of progress, but there's still a lot of room for growth. So I feel that personally, when we get to the stage where there's high level of what I say flexibility with configuration of some of these tools, that will open the door to a lot of possibilities, or like a lot of potentials for practical business um applications. So from like creating interactive sessions, like to educational materials, to advertisement resources, to outreach, like it's the possibilities are endless. So I think for me, this is where I have some but there are other interesting areas, right? The development. One thing with AI is I think the speed at which development is coming is so fast you hardly can keep up with the
Yeah,
trends. Like so that's it. So but it's very interesting. So I find this particular area is very interesting. That
it is. And I'm telling you, the way that it's moving, I can see a future of an AI movie, and different things like that. And just imagine that when we create solutions, we also create, what is it? It was one mentor said that when you create one solution, it creates 10 problems. And it's almost like though it'll be great in that aspect of creating a movie with simply AI, but think about the acting careers that are dissolving because of it. Think about other ways that people will not experience the joy of being on stage and the chemistry of
yes,
expressing themselves any longer in that fashion if it's the need for it is decreasing. And so it's just so many variations of looking at it and so many aspects.
yes,
So though we find joy in it, we also create challenges along the
yes.
way and
And
how.
just to add, yes, just to add to what like aside the whole the job jobs being down, another area also is when you look at the increasing potential for misuse as well, like for misuse, because with voice and videos, like it's now like the whole rate of the possibility to like fake uh what will I call it, to just generate like fake videos, fake pictures, to fabricate stories is becoming very high. So I completely agree with the fact that it's a powerful weapon that is it's can be highly misused. So the good thing about some of this is that you see, for instance, with the deep fakes, for instance, the fabricated videos and all that. One good thing that the AI space has done, which would help, is to build solutions that help detect AI. So, for instance, if you look at when ChatGPT came out and Gemini, immediately the ethical community, like there was a drive to push tools that help to detect articles or scripts that were written by AI, and that's helped to save at least originality in school space, such that if you just go and just use generative AI lazy in a lazy manner to just generate your let's say school assignments or things like that. It's going to be very easy. There are tools that can spot this misuse, right? So and that's why I keep saying, and that's why I keep saying it's very important to use that as an assistant. So imagine using like a research assistant. So you get the information, you get access to maybe research papers or ideas that you need to build, but you're not like just having a lazy copy and paste, or you're not just letting you do all the work for you. And then when you look at, for instance, like videos, like it's there are tools. I think Facebook, I think Google, their stability AI and some other like there are tools that have been developed to detect AI content. So some of these things, so that's what can that so with tools like this, it also helps to see, okay, even though users have there's a potential for users to misuse or people to misuse these tools, it's if you can detect them, you can build solutions that help to be able to like detect else it would be difficult to for the human eye, for instance, to detect things like generated AI generated social media profiles and all some of these things. So but with there are solutions that are helping with this. So it's just like what I say. It's going to be an ongoing battle where a particular set of people who want to misuse the AI solutions will keep trying to find ways to do that. But also there will be tools that will be developed to help mitigate this. And with regards the jobs, that's actually I won't say it's I would say personally, I agree with the fact that yes, the jobs to an extent will be transitioned, right? Just like how if you look back like in the 90s, you didn't have job titles like content creators, right? Or when you look at the way before the scientific calculator or the calculators were invented, you had like human calculators that worked with NASA and some of these tools before you had computers that could do some of these massive calculations. So with the advent of technology, it faces I would like to say it would more instead of looking at it as it kills jobs, I would like to be like it transitions or transitions the idea of job of the work environment. So basically, it might kill some jobs or phase out some jobs, but it will also create new opportunities.
It
A
does.
very big yes.
Yes.
So a very big example is prompt engineering, which is like I've seen jobs that okay looking for a prompt engineer. This was not a job before chat GPT and some of these tools, and this was not a role that was feasible. And I know like there will be other tools, there will be other solutions that will be there. So yes, it will phase out some jobs, but I would say one personally when we look at the journey, the long journey of AI taking over jobs and what the human advantage will be, I would say it's I keep saying it as the originality and the creativity of the human mind is what will still start like for instance, when you look at the idea of AI writing, right? AI can generate articles and content, but it doesn't replace the need for true creativity. So that because if you are passing like when you look at some of these content online, you see that it's almost very easy to detect just by reading an article to see a content that was just written with AI, like they'll just pass through AI. So there's still room for creativity to shine. And even when AI can generate like art, there's still a room for human creativity because as I was reading in the book and someone put it, which is close to accurate, AI is like a very powerful remixing tool. So it's producing, it's using its creativity is hanging on the patterns it has been able to extract from existing data. So it's not genuinely creative in the way, it's just that it's just worked with a lot of data. So but you see the human can really come up with something that has never been done before. And it might be difficult, and maybe the lines might get blurred over time, but I feel that that's an area where even when AI is able to automate a lot of processes, but these days you can't really say something's very solid because the speed at which innovation is happening is difficult to really predict. But I believe that human innovation and creativity would really still shine. It will be a way that will shine, will sustain humans in the future.
Absolutely. And I agree. And I did another interview for Brilliant Conversations, and the topic was AI also. So AI is popular. And one of the things that my guest mentioned was around the jobs that will not likely be replaced by AI. And we did a deep dive in that also. So, though we embrace that there are challenges, we also embrace those professions that will have to sustain in the midst of the evolving innovativeness and growing quickly, parts of AI. So it's been exciting to have these conversations, and I don't know, I guess it shouldn't be a surprise to me that you all chose this field to kind of emphasize on, and because it's just like the AI time, so this is the perfect time to have
Yeah.
the conversation. Now, as we're ending everything and winding down with this conversation, I want to zoom in on you and your business and how people can connect with you so that they can become more efficient in their practices and saving time as well as saving money. What sets you apart in the AI world within your business that the audience can glean from, that they will say, oh my goodness, I need to call you today. I need to, so what sets you apart?
Okay, yeah. So, what sets me apart? I think it is my passion for like seeing that AI is not just used as just that. It's not just for like AI is not just used as that hype. That's in that hype sense, but really seeing that it really fixes your business or really solves your problem. And basically, I try to achieve this by focusing on pr tools around productivity and customer service, right? So, and these are areas. So, most solutions when I'm trying to like reach help clients, these are I've worked on like the other areas, right? But I believe that this is when you're building solutions that help improve your interaction with your clients, or improve their experience, or either improve or also or maybe boost your productivity with your internal processes, right? These two areas are solutions. So I believe that and I've seen from experience that this tackling these two challenges drive for some of the best results I've seen. So yes, so for Rich, to contact me. So usually I what stands what I don't I'm not just bringing out predefined solutions for everybody, because I understand that each business has a unique, even like I said, even businesses that are operating in the same space have slightly different operating procedures and might have different challenges. So I'm not just bringing a tool that like a one fits all tool. When I meet what makes me to stand out is I like to talk to I like to like first discuss and like discover those like let's say like run a diagnosis on the clients, basically just trying to outline the key challenges first, and then crafting AI solutions that would that will fix that. Sometimes it must not be something so complicated. It's not always about using the most powerful, like the very big hype tools. So it's just about finding the challenges in your business and then seeing how automation can fill that in. So once for users who are interested in exploring how AI can fix they can be optimize their business, just set up a free call with me. So I'm on LinkedIn. You can check my website at neatway.io and or Instagram. So you can reach me there. You can reach me by mail. Like just reach me and then we'll have a free 30 minutes discussion, and then I'll just set up and then we start from there. Just try to understand what your business is, and then so far as your business produces data, there's always a way AI can fix can help you. So it's so long as you produce data, you have AI has you. and you can have a heavy dive into AI, or you can have just a very light no code dive with no code tools, and just very just explore what AI can do for you. So either way, I'm sure it's going to be a very good experience. So feel free to reach out.
All right, perfect. Thank you for letting everyone know how they can get in touch with you. That's important. And I love the emphasis you put on productivity and customer service. Those are key areas in any business because you want to be productive, efficient, and you want to keep people first. You want to make sure that your customer is absolutely satisfied with what you bring to the table, satisfied with the interactions, satisfied where they feel like they matter in the whole process and they're valued as a customer. And especially when someone is coming for your expertise and spending their money for you to implement something or provide something that will make their life better. So I love those two high level points that you are emphasizing when someone comes to you, and it does set you apart because I've gone into places and simply because of the lack of customer service, efficiency, skill, decorum, I I didn't become a customer. I walked away and it wasn't a good experience. So when you are leveraging AI to increase productivity and customer service, those are areas that are dear. And that's what makes businesses evolve. And it actually creates a brand because you're creating an experience for someone. So thank you for that. Much appreciated.
Thank
And
you. Thank
as
you.
we're closing in this world of AI that we've talked about, I think it's important to leave closing words for someone that is ready to take that deep dive in AI and maybe overcome the fear. Because sometimes you have some successful business owners like, it's always worked without it. I may not be as efficient. I may not be as advanced. And for that person that wants to jump into AI and they want to break out of the norm and the traditions and things of that nature, what advice would you give them now that they're ready to embrace it, either as an entrepreneur or working professional? They could be in a corporate job. What advice would you give them to help them to really tap into its full potential and glean, from that potential to where they feel like they're not getting left behind and they're like I mentioned, tapping into the full potential that AI provides for them.
Okay, thank you. So I think my advice would be first to break that that's skeptical that if you are skeptical about AI or adopting AI. So I think the first thing would be to try to explore successful use cases in adjacent like industries, right? So beyond the hype, because I admit, yes, there has been like there's a hype that sometimes some is not very realistic or that is being pushed out. Yes. So there's the hype. So beyond the hype, I think it would be good to like explore industries, right? Look, see what AI, like just try to see use cases, success stories, and explore. You can check them on YouTube, articles, just try to check companies that have explored it and see ways in which they have been successful. And that might break some of this skepticism, the disbelief or the fear, right? To see the use cases beyond the hype, because you will see you kind of when you have an understanding of where businesses have been able to like utilize it and how it has helped them, that might make you more curious to to want to give it a try. So that's like the first thing. So if you are skeptical, it's not your skeptic is not wrong, because even when you try to hire developers or AI engineers, if you hire the wrong hands, you can get a solution, you can invest money and not get results. You get not get results. So your fears are valid. So, but it's in order to break them, you have to like see what like just try to check research or look at the market and see how just check this trainings, maybe attend trainings, attend some AI workshops or conferences, and just hear what people who have used AI in their business have to say about it. So that will give an idea of like how you can start exploring integration, or how you can, and then when you want to get more information and you are trying to explore, then you can reach out to people like myself,
Yes.
and I will guide you through practical application of this tool. So I would say trainings, be your literacy, your AI literacy, just understand what AI is capable of doing, because you can just hear AI covers a lot of things. So what just understand what at least some of the use cases, how people are using AI, how businesses are being transformed by AI. That will kind of give you a healthy understanding of AI in the business space and its potential areas of application. So once you have that understanding, then maybe you can even start exploring tools like GPT in a healthy way. So I always like saying, like, in a very safe way. So like if you see, like, using, like I said, in the research, it will take a complete session, because I've done trainings where I have to like go over like the right use of AI, right? So they are, and I've covered like, I think I covered about seven use right ways to use it, and then compared with like some wrong ways that AI is being currently used. So there are wrong ways to use AI, there are right ways to use AI. Just explore the right ways, and then also, yes, get to talk to a professional, and that will help. So that will help you in your gradual, and then see, and I believe that when you see results, so when you try AI in low risk areas of your business, and you see the success of AI in these areas, it will make you more accommodating to try them, embrace it, as you to embrace it in your area. So you can start with low risk area, like integration, and see how it goes, and then I'm sure that when you see results, you will be able to accept, or maybe basically grow in your use of AI.
Perfect. That was such a balance, you know, bringing it all together and giving advice, because it's I didn't feel like you were selling AI for someone in general. I feel like you were providing a balanced approach to build confidence and make an educated decision, a
Yeah,
healthy decision based on research, making sure that you are going people who've seen success in real life and how it impacted their business, and then actively getting involved with personal training. Go to a webinar, go to a training, get some knowledge that where you can build a foundation on what AI is about. Don't go in blindly. And when you do those basic things, then you set yourself up to where when you're making a decision, the fear is extracted from it, and you have a bit of confidence. You almost encouraged and gave the advice for someone to have confidence in making a decision to move into AI. I appreciate that. Thank you.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you,
Thank you. And I hope the viewers did feel that confidence as you were speaking. I'm so excited that we had this opportunity to have a brilliant conversation. I love the impact and contributions that you're making in the AI space, and I absolutely wish your business much success. So for everyone who's viewing, I'm going to put Samuel's information in the description so that you can connect with him, schedule your free consultation, get the advice and the foundation you need to really move forward in your business and get the full potential of AI. So thank you all for joining us for this brilliant conversation on the Michelle LeAnn Show. We'll see you next time. Bye
thank
bye.
you. Bye, thank you.
You're welcome.